you my favorite recipe for guacamole, and it's a little different in that it uses some grapefruit juice. And the reason being is I have a grapefruit tree in my yard and it produces a ton of grapefruits and I'm constantly trying to find ways to use them. So I discovered that grapefruit juice in guacamole is absolutely delicious. The ingredients that you'll need today are the avocados, a jalapeno, the grapefruit that I mentioned, and some limes, a red onion, some garlic, cilantro and parsley, and salt and pepper. I'll start with the garlic, and I think I'll use about, I don't know, maybe 3 cloves. They're kind of medium looking. And I will give it a whack. Peel it. And I'm just going to do a rough chop. And I'll repeat that with the other 2 cloves. And what I'm going to do is use my mortar and pestle, also known as a molcajete and a tejolote. And it just helps to grind them up if they're chopped a little bit. So I'll repeat that with the other 2 cloves. Next, I'll add my jalapeno to the molcajete. And I'm going to scrape out some of the heat in the form of these seeds. A little stubborn there. I can tell this is a really powerful jalapeno, so I'm just going to use half. I will save the other half just in case I want to add a little more heat to it. And like the garlic, I'm just going to chunk this up a little bit and put it in my mortar with the garlic. I can really smell this jalapeno. Okay. To the jalapeno and the garlic, I'm going to add some salt. And it's probably about a teaspoon at this point. And I will take my pestle and just start working it together, and it forms a paste. It does take a while and a little bit of muscle work, but it's well worth it for the flavor that you're going to get. And this molcajete is made out of volcanic rock. You can buy them in the grocery stores here in Arizona where I live. So I will keep mashing and continue on with the next step. You can see it becomes emulsified and pretty watery paste here. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of cilantro at this point and a little bit of parsley and grind that up as well. I really like mostly to add my herbs at the end because I like the texture of them. So I will just add a few in there to the paste. That looks good. Grind those up. And then since this is a tiny little mortar, what I'm going to do is transfer this paste to a bowl and use the mortar to chop up my avocados. And that looks like it's really incorporated nicely. You can see the cilantro and parsley basically just disappear into this paste. It's really pretty cool. So now I'm going to transfer this mixture into my mixing bowl. Now I have room for my avocado, which I'll do next. I have about 5 pretty small avocados today, and I'm just going to pull that stem out, and you can see it looks a little green in there, and it's nice and soft, so it should be a decent avocado. Of course, you never know until you cut into it, and I just cut all the way around the sides like so, and that does look beautiful. And what I like to do is on the countertop, don't hold the avocado, with a paring knife, slice it up, and then I'll scoop it into my molcajete, and it still has a lot of the juice remaining from our paste, so it'll absorb a lot of the flavor. Do the other side, and I like to remove the pit by just kind of pulling the avocado, seeing it pops right out. And there you go. I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't like to use a knife or anything to stab it out, just because I'm always worried about cutting myself, which I have enough problems as it is without doing that. So that looks good. This molcajete holds about 1 avocado. And I'll mash it up. And this really makes a wonderful texture of the avocado. It tastes so delicious and creamy. Okay, and I'll add that to my bowl and continue on with my other avocados. Now I have my chopped onions, and they're pretty finely chopped. And I really like the red onion, especially in this recipe, because of their milder flavor. And I like them to be in these little pieces, so there's a little bit of crunch in the guacamole. Now I'll add my grapefruit. And I'll start out with half of one and see how juicy it is. They're always different. So this one's pretty juicy. Pluck that seed out. So I'll start with that. Now I'll add my chopped cilantro and parsley. And then that's probably about a 1/4 cup, I would say, but you can just add as much as you want for taste. I'm going to go ahead and throw some salt and pepper in there. And give it a nice stir. And I really like to use my rubber spatula for this part. And you can see, I think, that it's a pretty chunky guacamole, but that's how I like it. You can adjust that to however you like yours. Now I will put it in a serving bowl. And this made quite a bit of guacamole. I ended up using 5 avocados. And now I will add my lime at this point. I like to just drizzle it over the top. So there you have a pretty simple recipe for guacamole with a lot of flavor. Serve it with some tortilla chips and a margarita, and you have a wonderful snack. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.